Welcome to Victorious Living. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and experience the abundant life God has planned for you? We all face challenges, but on Victorious Living, we will equip you with practical tools and inspiring stories to help you live a life of victory. Let's prepare ourselves to learn something new today. Before we jump in, let's spread the victory. Share this video with someone who needs a fresh perspective. You were created for greatness. Let's dive in and discover how to live a life of victory.
Hello, my friend. Once again, a warm welcome to you to Victorious Living program. And this program is totally designed for you because you are important to God. Why we came up with this program so that we can let you know who the real God is. And He's right next to you. He's with you and He's for you. He's not against you. You might have gone through difficult time in life, but it's not God, because all the good thing that you see in life is God. If it is not good, it's not God yet. So I have an encouragement to you today that take a deep breath and listen to us for a couple of minutes. Maybe your life will change forever, because you're not watching us by chance. It's by design. God wants you to look at us today, hear us today. So pay attention. Your life is about to change. And I have a wonderful couple in my studio today, and I want to welcome you again, Mar and Mary. Please, a quick introduction of who you are, maybe because many people have not seen you in the last episode.
I'm Bart. It's my wife, Mary. We're chaplains here in Las Vegas. We're here to just tell our story and things that happened to us in the last couple of years.
Yes, and Mary shared with us in the last episode about the supernatural visitation of angels and how Bart survived that, he was in coma and brain dead for 4 days. And he came out of that place, and here he is today in the studio. And we have discussed that in the last episode. If you want to know more, go back and watch that. And today we will talk about a lot of other things that you have experienced, Mary. Take us there.
I've experienced so much, and Bart has given me a book I need to write about with his experience, because people need to learn to believe. People need to learn to have faith. I've had couples that have already come to us and cry, saying that I did not know to hang on and have the faith that you had with the Lord. And I unplugged my daughter and now have so much pain in what they think they should have done. And sometimes we may not know what it is because we don't listen to him. And he tells us. And sometimes we just think it's just somebody talking, or they thought they heard something, when they really should open their heart to know, is it really who it is? In Bart's situation, boy, he opened up the Lord with me so much and so wide. I feel like I was Jesus's admin for a while, listening to him and listening to things that he was, looking at Bart, that I could feel he was telling Bart, it's not your time. And for our child at the age of 12 at that time, to know that it's not time for Dad, and we need to keep him, and don't listen to the doctors. They may be smart, but it's always been said they are not the gods. They are just God's helpers. And so I want to tell you, listen to your heart. Bart successfully came, and even in the hospital for the 2 weeks, every doctor that came in and every nurse that came in, even the people that cleaned him, the people that fed him, always called him the miracle man. And I think he remembers that walking out, because they said, our miracle man is leaving. Because what Bart went through emotionally, physically, mentally, is something that he's not going to get to grow back into as soon as possible. It'll come in time, but it's not fast. It's not a fast recovery. He still has short-term memory. He still has some of his long-term memory that is still missing, because Bart bounced back to, according to the doctors, 27 years behind. He did not know who I was. He did not know who his children were. He did not know his son. And he didn't know one of his children, the last one, for a long time. He would call me the lady that's helping me all the time. And so I had to be staying with that. Did it hurt? No, because I was the lady taking care of him. I was the Lord's lady to watch Bart. Our son would tell him stories. He would read him biblical terms. He would play games that Dad used to do, but Bart didn't remember them. We had visitors that I'd have to tell them, be cautious when you come in because he's going to forget what you said. And some would think, especially his best friends, no, he's not. And when they would come in, they would talk to him, and Bart's famous word, as soon as they walked in, they'd say, hey, it's your bud. And he'd say, sure, with a big smile. And they would talk to him, and he would just nod his head. And then they'd say, well, I got to go. And I'd meet him at the door and say, come back in 2 seconds. And they said, are you serious? They would come back in and say, hey, bud, what's up? And he goes, oh, sure. And he goes, do you remember I came back and I saw you? Sure. But he didn't. And it wasn't for weeks later that he asked me who did come visit me. So I gave him a log of everybody that came to visit, how many people came to visit. The people that gave him so many prayers, so many thoughts to continue and to be who he was. And one chaplain who said, I need you to remember me. And she cried. She goes, yeah, I loved your hugs. You got to get up and give me your hug. And he'd say, sure. But he didn't. And the day that he did, what a memory to her. And she gave that acknowledgement at a class just the other day. So memories are there. Never disbelieve in the Lord. Never disbelieve in the Lord. He will always hear you. You may cry and you may say the next day, he's not hearing me. I'm still going through it. But guess what? He did hear you. But you're not listening. And there's so many jokes that even bring that into mind, such as the man in the boat. You know, they say, Jesus didn't hear me. Another man comes to be saving him. He says, no, that's okay. Jesus got me. Then comes the next day. The rope was thrown to him. No, Jesus is going to save me. Then comes the next day, an oar comes to him, and he says, no, Jesus is going to save me. And finally, Jesus hears him, and he asks Jesus, I've been praying for you. Why haven't you come? He goes, I have. I sent you a shipper. You didn't take the boat. I sent you an oar. You didn't take the oar. I sent you a rope. You didn't take the rope. I'm not listening.
Right.
He is there for you. He is there for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. We were talking about how you accepted your son and how you adopted him, and he's one of the biggest miracle and gift in your life. Can you take us to that story?
Aiden was adopted. I was working at this company, and the young lady was chubby, and some of the kids would say she's pregnant, and some of the customers would say she's pregnant, but she would say, no, I'm not, I'm just fat. And she was getting frustrated that she got to the point of just saying that. And then one day, a couple of weeks down, she wasn't feeling well, and she asked if she could go to the doctor. And I told her it's time for her to go to the doctor. Something is wrong. I can see it in the way that you're talking, the way that you're moving. She left and went to the doctor. And about 5 hours later, her and her boyfriend came back. And she was a very beautiful Jewish vegetarian with a wonderful Italian vegetarian boyfriend. No drinking, no nothing, very good couple, very young, and said that they stopped at the Jewish Society to have the baby adopted, that she found out she was pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant. Some of you are not going to believe that, 8 months pregnant. She still had her cycle as a female. She still did the things regular like a female has, but did not know that she had a child. To us, that was a miracle baby. The miracle baby was inside of her. And I told her, don't give it to the society. Don't let it go for adoption. let me ask my husband, because we were going through a foster care program. And she said, are you serious? And I said, absolutely. That night I told Bart. He said, up to you. What do you think? Me, I was like a puppy. Yes, let's take it. And we called her. I called her and told her yes. The next day we met. We talked about it. She cried because she was happy that the baby would go to somebody she knew and knew that was going to take care of her baby.
Right.
And in a week and a half later, she called us and said, I'm on my way to the hospital. The baby's coming. And we went. The attorneys gave her the last part to say, are you sure this is it? This is the last dot and cross of a T. She agreed to it. The hospital put a curtain over her because she didn't want to see the baby. Bart was still hesitant. He was afraid that she may want to take the child once the child was born and he could hear the cry. I didn't. I had the faith he was going to, it was a she. They said it was going to be a little girl. And when it was born, when Aiden came out, the doctor turned around and said, you're going to be amazed. You're calling it a miracle baby, but it's a little boy. He was on his butt the whole time, and that's all we saw. We thought it was a girl, but it was a little boy.
Wonderful.
And Bart was surprised, and Aiden screamed the most healthiest screams ever, and we received our little boy. And ever since then, he has truly been a God's blessing to us.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you were blessed by this message. Let's use this encouragement to spread hope and light, not only in our own lives, but also in our families and communities. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and let us know how God is working in your lives. Stay victorious and be blessed.